Hey, I'm Kirk Harnack at the NAB show in Las Vegas. We're at the Las Vegas Convention Center on Wednesday, April the 20th. Let's go inside and check out what's going on. Hey, look who I found. Fritz Goleman from Radiate Media. Hi, Fritz.
Kirk, it's great to see you.
I'm glad you're here. And you know, you and I have talked on the phone a few times about this notion of sending all the employees home, no matter where they live, and letting them work from home. Tell me about this concept and how you're making that work technically.
Well, at Radiate, we've got two different situations. We've got where we have an operations center connected up to a radio station, and that's doing traffic and news. But then in some cases, we'll have an employee that will just have working at home. So for example, in Chicago or in Dallas, we may have somebody either working for that market or out of market. And we'll set up a little mini studio for them, basically in their basement, you know, something carpeted, good audio, and away they go. Now, the funny story is that a lot of these employees, they're like, oh, they don't really want to work from home, and it's not the great thing. The minute they're home, literally the day out of the box, they never want to go back to the office. We never get them to come back.
Okay. So they're connecting in using IP codecs?
Correct. They're using zips, and we're just using basically commercial grade, regular old, retail internet. So sometimes AT&T, sometimes Comcast, whatever's available in a particular market or particular location.
Can you think of in setting these up for people, do you go to their homes or do they set them up themselves?
No, literally, I have gone to their house. Typically these reporters are not very technically savvy. I mean, they may have some chops, but not always very sophisticated. So we package it all up, put a zip in a rack, have a microphone set up and a little audio board and a computer. And then what we'll do is we'll run a USB mixer so they can take audio and record stuff, edit it like with Audacity or Audition, and then the rest of the audio down to the zip, and they connect up on demand and possibly to multiple stations as well. So that's the nice thing, is that it very quickly lets them select a different station and move on.
Yeah, that's very cool, and it's working out well.
Works very well.
Awesome. Fritz, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
I appreciate it. I'm Kirk Harnack for the Telos Alliance. Hey, I'm talking with Terry Bond. Hey, Terry, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks,
People
Kirk.
all over the engineering world know you, and you give good advice, trustworthy advice. So you've been around the NAB show here. You know what's going on in the industry, and the TV industry too. Mm-hmm. What's concerning you right now?
What's concerning me really now is because I'm also associated on the television side as well as the radio side. We've got this major transition happening on the television side, where an awful lot of television stations are going to be possibly moving channels or even moving locations.
Oh, locations too, huh?
Possibly. And this is going to require, as you know from your experience, tall towers, which means lots of people are needed to be able to relocate those antenna systems and transmission lines. And we don't really believe, a lot of us really don't believe, that there are sufficient capacity for those crews right now to be able to do that.
You mean not enough tower crews?
Enough tower crews. And that's going to be one of the really, strictly speaking, one of the areas we can't control.
I was wondering how this might affect radio, and if a radio station needs some tower work done, they may not be able to get it done for a
problem, right? And remember, some TV stations may be leaving their current tower to another one, and maybe someone will buy that tower, and maybe that would affect a radio station that's on that tower too. So all of this is going to interact. We're not sure how it's going to interact yet, but it's, nothing changes without changing something else, and it's going to be a very critical time for us.
So what I'm hearing from you is, if we're in Las Vegas, if I were a gambling man, my money would be on the tower crews. They're going to be busy.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great business to go into. We'd encourage a lot of people to go into that business right now.
All right, good deal.
Unfortunately, the training regimen required for that makes it difficult to just hire people off the streets. So, it's a specialized field.
Terry, have a great show. Thanks for talking to us.
Great. Thanks, Kirk.
I'm Kirk Harnack for the Telos Alliance. Yes, I promised we'd be at the cool booth. We're at the DJI booth where they have drones, mini drones, and I'm here with Adam Najberg. Hi, Adam.
Hi, and this is the coolest booth. Thank you.
It is. I love this stuff. and so do our viewers. What are we looking at?
What's flying behind us is the Phantom 4. It came out recently.
Yeah.
It's raised the bar for pretty much all of the consumer drones on the market. What we're seeing here is the first consumer level craft that has obstacle avoidance on board.
That sounds pretty cool. What does that mean exactly?
What that means exactly is pretty much what it sounds like. It will avoid obstacles. So,
by seeing them?
By seeing them, yes.
My God.
So exactly, right?
It's not just a sonar ping or something.
No, it's not sensing, it's seeing. And it's got 2 cameras in front that are able to see all the way out to 15 meters. And from that 15 meters, they're able to see a nice wide field of view and determine if there's something in front of it. And if there is something in front of it and it's flying towards it, it will not fly into it. So that's the obstacle avoidance part. It has other interesting applications.
There's something interesting. Can it can avoid stationary objects. Can it also avoid a dynamic object?
It can. And a lot of it's going to depend on how fast the other object is moving and how fast the drone is moving. That's simple physics and math.
Sure.
But that's an interesting question because it also has a couple of autonomous flight modes. And in one of those modes, and it is like it sounds, it will fly itself in a pre-programmed way. So, but it will be doing it in a smart way. So for example, it has a mode called active track. It will recognize you. It'll say, oh, this is Kirk. And Kirk, I see, here's how you look here. And if you turn your head, you're still Kirk from the side. And when you walk, you're still Kirk. But it still knows it's you. And as a result of that, you can lock it on and have it follow you. It's not following a signal, it's following you because it's created a 3D volumetric image of you.
Oh my, and I don't have to like wear a target on my head or something like that. It knows me.
No targets, no bracelets, no necklaces. It's not the lily.
Wow.
But the other thing I would say is, you asked about that obstacle avoidance. So if you, and I don't recommend this, but if you happen to walk or run towards the drone and the obstacle avoidance is on, it's the idea of active track is trying to keep you in the center of the video frame. But if you disturb that and run right at the drone, you'll see it actually back up. It looks like you have Jedi powers.
I do. So it sounds like these features in the drone help you to fly it well without crashing it. That's one purpose.
That's one purpose,
and then, but I guess another purpose is the good photography. You're improving photography.
Nail on the head, man. Exactly. So what you can do in another mode called tap fly is you can tap and it flies to where you want it to go. You can make it ascend slightly, maintain a level heading. Obstacle avoidance is fully on. If it sees a big pole or something in front of it, it'll avoid that pole or stop in front of it. But what that does is it gives you confidence and peace of mind so that you can operate the camera and the gimbal. And let me just say, there's a 4K camera on there.
Yeah.
That's getting some darn good footage, whether you're shooting stills or video.
Wow. All right. I got one more question, and that is about, I've seen some videos about these drone races. How does DJI fit into those drone races?
Well, we don't make those small FPV drone racers. Those will go like 100 miles an hour, but it's a good question.
Oh, those are small? I didn't know how big they were.
They're very small. Okay. But there is one feature on this new drone that it's almost like a trainer in a way.
Yeah.
It has a sport mode that you can just switch into right from the remote control. It goes normally about 16 meters per second, and that's it's like a normal mode, but it's maximum speed. When you kick into the fast mode, the sport mode, it'll go 20 meters a second or about 45 miles an hour, and it does it purely through physics. The craft will tilt 45-degree angles, and it just flies so fast, man.
Yeah, but the gas mileage goes to heck, doesn't it?
Or in this case, the battery life goes, but it actually, the battery that's on there, if you're flying under normal circumstances, you'll get really solid time. I mean, it goes all the way up to 28 minutes.
Wow. If folks want more information on these drones, where would they go?
Go to www.dji.com.
Easy enough. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Adam, appreciate you. I'm Kirk Harnack for the Telos Alliance.